Welcome to Elite Dangerous. Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Elite Dangerous. This is Troa, and today I'm going to go ahead and show all the newcomers that are going to be coming into Elite Dangerous, basically how to get your head around the basics of this game. Now, if you have just started the game, I do highly recommend that you do the tutorial missions, and go ahead and spend your time in the tutorial missions learning how to dock, learning how to navigate, how to fly, how to set up, setting up your controls, everything else like that. Before jumping into the game. Now, after jumping into the game, there are a couple of game modes. Or 3 game modes to be precise. There's open, private, and solo. Now, the differences are basically multiplayer or not multiplayer, or multiplayer S, kind of with options, I guess, if you will. Now, solo is solo. You're by yourself. You don't have to worry about any other players. And right now, there's no sort of reason why you shouldn't start in that one. I mean, when I started, there was a competition going on that could only be completed in open. Sadly, I did not win. But that aside, irritatingly, there's no real reason why you shouldn't start in solo. Private is another option. Private basically makes it to where you basically play in solo with people of your choosing to join you, like your friend or anybody else like that, and that's really cool. Not solo, but open at that point is pretty much you're on the server with everybody else. So most people are pretty nice. You really don't have to worry about too many people. I've only had a few encounters with people that I would say were negative. Most of them are actually pretty positive. So, I mean, watch your back out there. Not everybody's a gentleman or a lady, if that's the case. And, some people out there are just jerks. So, be careful with that. But today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show you what you can do when you first buy a Sidewinder, or when you first load in the game for the first time. Now, another thing about Elite Dangerous is it doesn't actually require a lot of computer overhead, if you will. It's not a very intensive game to run. So if you're on the fence about buying it, your computer can probably run it. I mean, as far as all this stuff goes, you can get, mid-level components and be well above what you need to actually run this game, which is impressive. And it's a feat I have to give Frontier credit on. But that aside, let's go ahead and jump in to our sidey. So I'm going to get out of third-person camera there, and by default, you're not going to be able to do that. That's something you have to bind in the options, and I recommend checking that out. Another thing I do recommend for this game, though, if you like it, is definitely get a HOTAS setup, a hands-on throttle and stick, and that's basically a joystick with a throttle control. I myself use an X52 Cytec, and while I can't really attest to the build quality, it is, they covered it by warranty. It only cost me some shipping to do so, but you'll hear a lot of people talking about the build quality of an X52, but the fact of the matter is it makes the game so much better. When I first got it, I didn't really see that big of a difference, and then when my throttle went out and I had to send it back, I went back to the keyboard and mouse for a little bit, and oh my god, it was infuriatingly painful. So if you have the capital to do so, or if you have one lying around, or if you think you might like it and you want to try it out, get a HOTAS setup. A regular joystick just doesn't do it. You have to have that throttle, man. That throttle is just, it really does make the game. But anyway, we're getting way off topic here. So when you first start out, you're going to have 1,000 credits. I do not have 1,000 credits. I have a lot of ships, and I'm not in the starter system. And no, I'm not going to wipe my save. I've already done that once, I ain't doing it again. So, let's go ahead and start out. So when you first start, you do not have 74 million credits. You have 1,000 credits. And when you go into the outfitting for your ship, everything that you have is loaned. Like right here, there'd be a little thing that says loaned next to it, which basically means you can't sell it and get any money out of it. It's not yours. You're loaning it. So, excuse me. What we have here, all this stuff here would also be loaned. So selling any of this doesn't really matter. You're not going to get anything out of it. So one of the ways that you can quickly make money, and probably the most linear way you can make money, is to go to the bulletin board. Now, the bulletin board, you have a bunch of missions that you can choose from. And here, I only have the one, but I have some that are unobtainable, meaning that my current craft cannot actually do them. So, right here, expert investigator required for rare art reclamation, okay? So this requires me to go out and find rare artwork in a quantity of 3 and bring it back. It also does warn me that the activity is considered illegal and that they will pay me 30,000 credits for this. That's 30 times what you start out with. So this is actually an example of a very good mission to get. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one so I can kind of show you what this is like. And this is an option for things that you can do in the beginning of the game. Now, 1,000 credits isn't really going to get you anything. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this one right here. Right? And that gives me, I have to have 3 cargo capacity. And it wouldn't let me pick it up unless I had 3 cargo capacity. I believe I have 4 right offhand. Let's go ahead and check this. Yeah, current cargo capacity is 4. Now, another little things that you can see here is my power usage. Now, my available power usage is 6.4 megawatts. And my deployed, when I have my weapons out, is 5.24 megawatts. And retracted, when my hardpoints are not deployed, is 4.46. You want to make sure, at least early on, it's a good practice to try to make it to where this number does not go above this one. However, you can do that with some module techniques. I'll try to put a link in a video to another YouTuber that did a very good job of actually explaining all this. I'm going to go ahead and run through it myself once we get to that point. But this is kind of a little bit of an advanced topic right here. Not really something you're going to be worrying about for a while. Let's see here. Cargo capacity, this can be upgraded. Your fuel capacity, which is 2 tons, which, wow, that's nothing. And then your mass, which this is, again, something that's kind of more advanced, but you can play around with this. Your jump range unladen means you have no cargo. Current, which is how much you can jump right now with the amount of cargo you have and the amount of fuel that you have weighing you down. And your laden jump range, which is how far you can jump when you're full of cargo. And this is important. But right now, we'll go over a couple of things as far as this goes. So right here, you'll see that my power plant is an E2/2, right? Now, the first 2 says what size module I can put in here. The second 2 says how large of a size I can put in. The E class here, or sorry, the rating of E, is basically how good that particular module is. And if we go into buy and equip, you'll see that there are more. So you have D, C, B, and A. Now, there are differences between these. E is the one you will always start out with. It's the stock component. Now, the stock component can be upgraded, and each one of these upgrades, if you look over here at my available power supply, would mean that I have more power to play with. And this is basically going to be the case for any sort of upgrade that you get. So we start out here. D is good for saving weight. So when you get into trading and everything else like that, D class is pretty good. Not necessarily for a power plant. In most cases on a trading vessel, an A class power plant is the best because of its heat efficiency. So you can jump quicker. It's however, this is going to be the case for all ratings throughout all the modules. So D class is always going to be the lightest. C class is kind of in the middle on everything. It weighs as much as an A class, but it weighs more than a D class. Does that make sense? It also weighs less than your E class as well. So a C class gives you the best of all worlds, basically, while being cheap. The B class is usually the heaviest one of them all, as far as an upgrade is concerned. It still weighs less than your E class, but it does provide better power, better heat efficiency, everything else like that. This is good, but it does weigh more than both the C class, the A class, and the D class. All of these will weigh less than the B class. A class is the best. I mean, that should be pretty apparent. But an A class is obviously going to be the way to go on most components. And we'll get into that a little bit more once we make some money. So what do you say we go out and do that? So we're going to be looking for that rare artwork. So if we go over here, we don't see anything quite yet. And that's because we're not out in Super Cruise yet. And I'll show you what we're looking for to find this rare artwork. If you go over here to your transactions, it'll have your mission right here. And you say where to find it, everything else like that. It says the system, that's the system that I'm in. And I have 3 hours and 15 minutes to do it. Okay? We're going to go ahead and launch. And we're going to get out of here. Now, the correct side to get out on is the green side. That way you don't crash into anybody else. So, another thing I can talk about really quickly while we're here is you see to the right of my... Oh, alright, go ahead. You see the power distribution where it says Systems, Engine, and Weapons, and Reset. Now, that's my power between everything else. So, if I put power into systems, my shields get more durable. They can take more fire. And they will recharge that capacitor faster. They do not recharge your shield faster if that line right there is full. If it's full, it's going to recharge at the same rate regardless of how many pips you have into that shield. It'll only make your shields more durable and recharge that capacitor faster. That's it. Engines, as you can see when I did that, I made it to where my ship then goes faster. It also means when I boost, that the capacitor there will recharge faster than it would if I only put 1 in it. See how it's barely recharging now? Whereas if I put 4 into it, it's going to recharge faster. Same principle as with the systems. Now weapons basically means, let me make sure that my weapon groups are set up, they are, is if I fire them, how quickly they will recharge. They do not do more damage if you have 4 pips into weapons. It's only going to make it to where that capacitor recharges faster, and also to where it makes it to where it'll last longer, because it's actively recharging while you're shooting. And that's just a balanced loadout between everything. Personally, I like this one the most for just clowning around. Now let's go ahead and get out to Super Cruise, and I'll show you what we're looking for.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
I'm going to go ahead and throttle down, and I'm going to wait and find myself a signal source. Now these pop up randomly while in Super Cruise, which is basically sublight travel. And when they pop up, you'll have 3 variations. You'll have strong signal sources, you'll have unidentified signal sources, and you'll have weak signal sources. Now, of the 3, when you first start out, you want to stay as far away as you can from strong signal sources, because they will often get you killed. Very, very numerous and scary opponents will show up in a strong signal source. Here's an unidentified signal source. I'm not really looking for that because I'm looking for rare artwork, but this one will have, basic bounties you can collect, some, guys that you can do. This is also the one that you would go into for most missions. But I'm looking for a weak signal source because I'm looking for canisters, and that's what's generally in a weak signal source. Alrighty, here we go. And then after that, we just line up with the target and drop out a Super Cruise when it says we can. And of course, I get interdicted. Oh, that's fantastic. Well then, I guess we're going to go ahead and do some combat. Oh, I don't know if I can take on an asp in this thing, but we'll try. Really? Okay then. I can't take on 2 people in a stock sign blinder. Oh, maybe. Man, I'm not used to having such a bad distributor. Alright. So let's do this. Ooh. There we go. Well, there's 25. Another thing to remember is if I put more pips into my engines, I can maneuver faster, which is saving me right now.
Target shields offline.
Another thing I can do is I can target his power plant, and if that dies, so does he, and it'll have a lot less life than his hull does. So, I can get in here and do that. Again, working with my power, make sure that he doesn't fire on me because he has a lot more guns than I do.
Shields online.
He's trying to get around. Go ahead and strip those shields again.
Target shields offline. Frameshift charge detected.
Of course. I can't stop him. That's irritating. But I didn't die, so that's good. Let's go back to finding that signal source. The moment we find it. But hey, we got 2,500, so that's pretty good. That's a good start. And we didn't die. Again, that's pretty good. No, I don't actually want that. There we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hey, look at that. Would you look at that?
Cargo scoop deployed.
Weak signal source, and there's the rare artwork. Let's go ahead and scoop this up. Let's just get all we can, which should be 4.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Alright,
Cargo scoop retracted.
and let's go home and turn this in.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now you can tell there on the right side there, it says illicit cargo, which basically means if I get scanned, I get fined. And I also take a reputation hit, which would suck, so I don't really want that. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to try to get past security. Now, you can go to an outpost if you had just scooped up, you know, just anything at a thing, but because I'm turning in the mission, I need to go back where that mission was issued. Otherwise, I could go to a place that has a black market, preferably an outpost, because an outpost won't have security to scan you on your way in. That's another tip or trick. So, anarchy systems won't have any sort of police at all. Oh, I'm flying too fast, apparently. And there we go. Let's loop back around. Okay. But yeah, anarchy systems won't have security. These places do. And here's a little trick with these starports. You see the little green symbol of the station right there? You'll see these little arrows pointing on it, and that's pointing towards the door. Also, it'll always rotate on the axis of the door, and it'll always be going counterclockwise. So there's another quick way to tell. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line myself up with the door before I go in. Now what you can do is you can do silent running and all that other stuff and try to get in there without being spotted, which basically makes it to where you won't be putting out as much heat, but you will heat up very quickly and you'll have all your modules turned off. It's dangerous and unnecessary. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go flying through the door. Which I guess sounds equally dangerous, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm lining up with the door to keep myself as far away from the cops as I can. And boosting in. Let's go ahead and request docking.
Docking request granted.
There we go. Fly right in. Alright. Let's find our landing pad.
Landing gear deployed.
Let's land. There we go.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So to go ahead and turn in the bounty mission, or the bulletin board mission, I should say. Let's refuel. Go to the bulletin board. And then deliver cargo. And there you go. 30 grand. 30.7 plus the 2.5 from that one guy we killed. So yeah, there you go. There's 32, almost 33, actually probably 33 grand right there. That's a lot of money. So what do you do with that money? The outfit. Alright. So the first thing that you want to do whenever you have money is you want to upgrade your power distributor. First and foremost, that thing is so important. So that's 20 grand, right? So that leaves us with, well, that leaves us with 10,100 credits, basically. So let's go ahead and get this first, because this is extremely important, and it should be the first thing that you upgrade. Why? Because it makes your entire ship better. Your weapons capacity, the amount of energy in that capacitor will go up. Your weapons will recharge faster, which means you can shoot more. Your engines will do the same thing. They will recharge faster, and they will have more capacity, so you can boost more often. Your system's capacity will go up, and their recharge will go up. Again, all good things, and in all three areas, so you want this. That's a big chunk of cash for early on, but I mean, we haven't been at this, but for what, a few minutes? And we've already got enough for a Class A distributor. So, I mean, that wasn't hard, right? Let's see. Now, what else do we want to do? I'm actually fine with the shields on this thing, so I still have 10 grand. So, let's see. What can I do with that 10 grand? Let's go ahead and change this to module type. And let's see here. Pulse laser. Gimbaled. Ah, look at that. Only 6K. Now, I could get one of those, really, for the amount of money that I have, but I couldn't get two. I like gimbaled weapons. They're just much easier to use. But, that's just to each their own, really, on that one. So I'm not really going to bother with this quite yet. I'm just going to save the money. But what you can do, obviously, afterward, is you can go to the shipyard, and you can buy new things. And it's right on the money. Look at this. You can get a Viper for 142. And we just made 32, right? That's not very hard. So you can get into a Viper really quickly. And whenever you do upgrade to a new ship, what you want to do is you want to sell everything. On your first starting Sidewinder, all of this is going to be loaned, so you're not going to get any money for it. So don't really bother with that, but anything that you've upgraded, like the power distributor, you want to either equip the lowest capacity one that it has, or just sell it outright, like in the case of a shield generator. If you had upgraded it, just sell it. You actually go ahead and you make money whenever you trade in a ship. You lose 10% of the value, of the combined value of that ship and everything that you have on it. When you trade components out, though, you don't take a hit at all. And you will only lose 10% of the perceived value of the ship at the time of sale, which means if your ship is worth, let's just say for the sake of math, 500K, fully decked out, all sorts of stuff on it, and you would lose 10% of that, right? If you were to strip it down and bring it down to 30k, right, you would only lose 10% of 30k when you sell it. So you want to do that for every ship. Every ship. I mean, it's free money. Why? I don't know why anybody would really care. So yeah, do that. Another thing I'm going to go ahead and do here, though, and I'm going to actually show you combat now. Again, so you can get that Viper or anything else that you want quicker. You can go ahead and get a kill warrant scanner. Now, hopefully they have one here. Yep, it looks like they do. And that's 10,000. So let's see here. We started with 1,000 credits. So yeah, we actually have enough money for that. We would be at pretty much 0 right now, which is fine. But that's what we would want. So there you go. You can get a kill warrant scanner. And I'll show you how to use that. So we got a good power distributor, which means we're going to be a lot better in combat. And we have a kill warrant scanner, which means now we can get extra bounties, which is the best way to make money early on, in my opinion. How do I still have illicit cargo? Did I pick up too many? I did. That's fine. And let's see. Contacts. Now, there's no black market here anyway, but the black market would be here, and you could just sell your illegal goods. That's fine. For demonstration purposes, that's enough. So let's go bounty hunting, shall we?
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
A good power distributor goes a long way. Not very far in a Sidewinder, but it does go a long way. Alright, let's get rid of this cargo. We're far enough away from the station, it doesn't really matter. And you never know, somebody might actually want this. You do that too close to the station, though, and you'll get fined for littering. Now we're getting interdicted. Now how you fight this is you keep that in the center. I don't want to fight this because I want to actually get interdicted, so I'm just going to throttle down and keep that near the center so I don't take any damage. Oh, an adder. Competent. Wanted. Alright. So, let's go ahead and get those. There we go. Put that on 2. And there we go.
Under attack.
Oh, man. This guy's in. Whoa! I don't think I can take this guy, to be honest. But let's see. So we're gonna scan him first. And get behind him. It's not gonna be the hardest part because that thing's actually pretty mobile. Let's mess him up.
Target shields offline.
That was a tough 12 grand to work for, but hey, there you go. So, bounty hunting 101. Now, ideally, where you would want to go is you would want to actually go towards any sort of resource extraction site. Now, you can find them by going to ring planets such as these that have resource extraction sites at them. Now, currently none of them in this system actually do, which is disappointing. But this one right here, the 4A ring, that's actually a planet, so that's kind of off. But the ring itself doesn't have, if it has metals in it, there's probably a resource extraction site. And if you go there, there's a whole bunch of enemies there. You can make a lot of money to resource extraction sites. That's probably the best place to go bounty hunting. Second best place to go bounty hunting, nav beacons. As far as a beginner goes, I would say a nav beacon is the best place to go, which is why I'm heading one now, because this is what I would recommend doing. The traffic is a lot more manageable. You're not getting overwhelmed early on. And, I mean, it's still one at a time and about as quick as you can kill them in the Sidewinder anyway, so I don't see the point in doing it anywhere else, at least early on. Once you're in a Viper or something, yeah, go to the resource extraction site, because you're just going to be bored waiting for stuff at a nav beacon. It just takes too long for anything to show up. But I mean, when you first start out, yeah, that's bite size enough for a Sidewinder. And then after that, I mean, you can go to asteroid belts, you can go to resource extraction sites, nav beacons, you can interdict people with an interdictor if you want to equip one, or you can just be interdiction bait and just wait for somebody to pull you out of Super Cruise. There's a whole bunch of things you can do as far as bounty hunting goes. But arguably the best one is definitely going to be a resource extraction site. And in my opinion, the best one is at an anarchy system with a resource extraction site. That's the place I'd want to go. And that way, you know, you don't have to compete with anybody else for kills. Such as the cops. There ain't no cops in anarchy space. Let's go ahead and find somebody here who's wanted, shall we? Whip out our guns. Wendy Bear. Ooh, have you been a naughty bear? No. How about you? No.
Scan detected.
Oh no. Who is scanning me? You are scanning me. Why are you scanning me? You're clean. Okay, let's go ahead and change our fire groups up a bit, because I actually want this here. An asp. Have you been a naughty asp? No. Everybody is clean. Irritating. Nothing to do except run around like an idiot. So let's see here. Who's been naughty? There's somebody over here that I can't seem to get a scan. Sidey, Tony Clark. You've been naughty? No, you've been clean. How dare you? So we basically just kind of sit around and wait for the RNG gods to throw us a bone. Oh, here we go. Maybe a sidey. Have you been naughty, Miss Trellis of North Wales? Oh, she's been naughty. Let's get her. So we scan her with our kill warrant scanner to get the most money. And then we open the fire! Fuego! God, I suck with fixed weapons. Come here, you little bugger. Strelly! Come here. I've made my last jump, she says. am I hauling? Oh, somebody else is scanning me. I don't have anything, so they shouldn't attack me. They might. Suck. I'm currently dealing with the horror of Babylon. There we go.
Target shields online.
Let's go ahead and kill you two.
Target shields offline.
Come here.
Target shields online.
You little bugger.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed. Frameshift charge detected.
Alright, let's stop that. Hey, you stay right here.
Under attack.
Keep holding the button down so it'll return where you left off. I'm getting my ass handed to me by Type 6.
Shields offline.
Thought I'd see you there.
Taking damage.
Okay then. Fine. You can go. Thank you, officer. I'm currently getting my ass handed to me by a Type 6. Mind helping out?
Target shields offline. Target shields. Target shields offline.
There we go.
Target destroyed.
Oh, that was worth the hassle. 54 grand. That's a lot of money. Uh-oh, who's this?
Frameshift charge detected.
What the? Okay then. Ooh, Python. Well, why not, right? Let's go for it. Are you wanted? Have you been naughty, Python? A master Python. Oh, okay, good, you're clean. Didn't actually want to do that. Alright. Well, 54 grand. That's pretty good. I can't believe I almost got killed by a Type 6, but hey, I'm in a Sidewinder. So now that we're going back, we have enough money to do a lot of things. So now I can show you a little bit more in the outfitting department. But we're only about another round of that before we can afford a Viper. So it's pretty easy to get out of the stock Sidewinder. In fact, I could get into an Eagle right now if I wanted to. No problem. Eagles are a lot less expensive than a Viper. there you go. There's the front door. So, let's go. Contacts. Let's request docking.
Docking request granted.
Again, that little compass shows you where your landing bay is.
Landing gear deployed. Docking
Close enough.
successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, so let's enter the hangar. Okay, so we got money. Now all that damage we took, 271 credits. Okay, laughable. 8 credits of fuel. So I mean, if you're getting damaged, don't worry about it. Just keep fighting. If you die, you have 600,000 worth of rebuy. And I guess that is something I should definitely bring up. Early on, I don't even care about this, but you'll see down there the rebuy cost. Now the rebuy cost is how much you have to pay if you die in order to get your ship back. Now, that's going to be a little bit different because your ship is worthless when you first start, so it's only the cost of your upgrades really that are going to be anything. You're actually not going to have to pay very much at all. 3 grand is because I had to buy the Sidewinder to do this video. But anyway, it is essentially, I think it's 5% standard insurance. So 5% of what your ship is worth is what you have to pay if you die. If you don't have that money, you start back all over again in a stock Sidewinder with 1,000 credits, just like you did when you first started. So don't fly if you can't accept the consequences. And I have to repeat that. Do not fly your ship unless you are prepared to face the consequences of losing everything. Elite Dangerous can do that to you. You can start back at 0. I haven't had that happen to me, thank goodness, but it can happen. So be prepared to face the consequences if you fly without insurance. Now, early on, you have 600,000 worth of credit, right? Quote unquote credit, that they will give you that you have to work off to buy your stuff back. So if you die a lot in the beginning, it doesn't matter. Just have fun in the beginning because you can. You can get out, like 600k is enough to rebuy an ASP, I believe, at least a pretty low equipped ASP. So I mean, go nuts. You're really not going to lose anything other than just a little bit of time, and not much time, obviously, because I mean, I've done this in under an hour. I've got enough pretty much to buy a Viper. So I mean, this is good. So let's see. Yeah, 100 and yeah, there you go. So there's a little bit in an alliance there, but I'm not going to go get that. Not for a while anyway. So to reclaim bounties, you go to contacts, local security, and then redeem your bounty vouchers. So here's 54k right there. Bam. Good stuff. Now we can dump more into our ship if we wanted to. But let's just, for the sake of argument and to keep this video from getting any longer, that you have enough to deck this thing out. Now what would I do to the Sidewinder? I'd get rid of it. I mean, that's really the thing, the crutch of the matter is I don't like the Sidewinder. It's a multi-purpose ship that does nothing well at all. I mean, it's pretty maneuverable, but there are other ships that are more maneuverable, a la the Eagle or the Vulture, when you get enough money to have that. Both of them are very nimble, and I believe more so than the Sidewinder. The Viper is also extremely maneuverable and so much better than the Sidewinder. So, if you were to going to go ahead and deviate from the Sidewinder, your next step to go ahead and close this video out, what would you do? Well, first off, if I had the money, which I almost do actually in the event of the preceding things that we've done, have enough to buy a Viper. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you what it's like to go ahead and buy something. Now, the stock Sidewinder, again, like I said, is going to have a bunch of loan stuff. So I'm just going to do it like I would if this were a ship that I had purchased like I have. And I wanted to get the most out of it before I got rid of it. So I'd sell the things that I could just sell outright, like these things. I'd downgrade everything else as much as I could. There's nothing less there. Sensors, nothing else there. E1, E1, E2. I might be able to put an E1 on there. Nope. Thrusters, maybe? Nope. Power plant, maybe? Nope. Eh, there you go. Sell these. Sell these. Sell that. Nope. And then after we have all that sold, you sell the ship. That easy. So let's go ahead and go to shipyard. Now the next thing you need to consider is, what do you want to do? If you want to explore, you can, although I wouldn't do it until you can afford an advanced discovery scanner and a detailed surface scanner and a Class A frameshift drive and a very good fuel scoop. And the ship that I would do that earliest in is going to be the Cobra. I mean, you can do it in a hauler, you can do it in a adder, you can do it in a Type 6, you can do it in a Cobra, you can do it in an Asp, you can do exploration in pretty much every ship. You just have to have the slots to equip everything and a good jump range. And even that's optional, really. But, I mean, the only thing that you need to have for exploration is a ship that can jump at all. At least, I'd say 12 light year jump range, at very, very, very least. Right? Like, ideally, you want up into 30s, but, like, 12 is minimum. You just want above 10, really. And you can do exploration on economic routes. But you have to have at least a detailed surface scanner. That's 250 grand, and that'll make it to where you actually make money exploring. And the other one is you'd want to have an advanced discovery scanner, which is, I think, 1.5 mil, and a good fuel scoop, which can run anywhere from 500k to 5 mil. So that gets pretty expensive, depending on what ship you're fitting it on, obviously, and what size. And there's no replacement for displacement when it comes to things. Almost usually, always, the larger number of a component is going to be better than a lower number but a higher class, or higher rating, if that makes sense. There are exceptions to this, but most of the time that's true. The other thing that you're going to have to want to do, though, is if you've done any looking into this game, you'll see that there are things called rare item trading. Trading doesn't really, because of the changes that they've made to bounty hunting recently, bounty hunting is actually profitable up until about, I'd say, a Type 7. At a Type 7, you're going to be making a whole lot more regular trading, and you can still make more with a Type 6 or an Asp doing regular trading, but up until that point, there's just no point to it at all. You can't really make enough. You don't have the cargo space to really do anything unless you're doing rare item trading. Now, if you're doing rare item trading, what you can do is you can get an adder, is a very good example. You can also get a hauler if they have one here. They do. Hauler's only 52. So, I mean, we already made enough plus to go ahead and get into rare item trading, at least for a beginner. So, I mean, you do bounty hunting, you kill 3 things, there you go, you have a hauler. You make a run to Lave, you pick up some stuff. Maybe Lave is a bad idea because there are a lot of pirates in Lave. Keep that in mind, but I'm going to put a link down below to a really handy website that has a whole bunch of rare item locations and where to get them. And when you get a rare item, you just take it 160 light years in another direction, doesn't matter which one, and you can sell it there for maximum profit. And you can make a lot of money rare item trading. I was able to get into a Type 6 in an evening doing rare item trading. So watch my old videos, you can see how I did it. I went right through the list, and I got back into my Asp as quick as I could doing rare item trading. And it's something that I recommend. Rare item trading falls off at an Asp, and picks regular item commodity trading picks up with a Type 7. And that really is the turning point for the game, because at that point bounty hunting is not as lucrative as trading. At a Type 7, that's where it switches. So keep that in mind. Exploration, you don't really make a lot of money doing exploration, especially without a detailed surface scanner and an advanced discovery scanner, because there might be things that you miss. And That isn't even close to being on par with bounty hunting. Mining is the same way currently, however, they're planning another patch that's going to address that, and smuggling, hopefully. So, as the state of the game goes right now, we are in April. This is how it is. April 2015. So, alright. But at least my decision, what I would do if I were you and I was starting out in a new game is I would I would immediately go to a nav beacon personally. I wouldn't even bother with the missions. I wouldn't bother with anything else. I'd go straight to the nav beacon in my stock Sidewinder and I'd try to blow things up. Why? Because it doesn't matter. If I die, I have all that credit to work through. And it's not hard to replace the Sidewinder. So, I mean, if you kill one thing and you actually turn in the bounties, you have enough to replace your Sidewinder like 5 times. So I would just go out there and fight and learn how to fight. Just jump right into the crucible, right into the fire, and learn how to fight, and figure out all the ins and outs of everything else like that. You can do the weak signal sources, you can pick up the illegal goods, you can sell them on the black market. Yeah, that's fine, that's good, that's an easy way to make money if you're not confident in your flying abilities. But I mean, if you're not confident in your flying abilities, why not figure it out? You have, right now is the chance to do it, because it's really cheap to replace a Sidewinder. And then as soon as you can, I'd get into a hauler, or an adder, or a cobra, and do some rare item trading. Just do that. You can make a whole bunch more money doing that quicker. And it gives you a nice little place to kind of see the sights and, you know, get a good feel for how the game goes and everything else. If you do it in open, though, be warned, there are player pirates that will try to steal your stuff or just blow you up for no reason, especially in places like Lave. So keep that in mind, and always fly with what you can afford to lose, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So as a kind of a finale here, let me show you the majesty that is a Viper, and we'll go from there. Yeah, here we go, Viper. I haven't flown one of these in a long time. Purchase. Buy a new ship and store? No. Buy my new ship and sell my current ship.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted. Hull integrity compromised. Power plant capacity exceeded.
that's a good payday.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Well guys, thanks for watching, and I hope this has inspired you to either purchase the game or to go ahead and jump in and maybe help you out along the way. There are a couple of things, like I said, like rare item trading and things like that you can do, and I'll put links to those down below so you guys can get started on that. And bounty hunting is perfectly profitable, so between the two, it's a toss-up, like I said. But guys, I hope this has inspired you. I hope this has helped you out in any way that it can. And I'm going to be getting back to any sort of pre-recorded episodes that I had already recorded. This is kind of a break from the norm due to the game being released on Steam. So guys, thank you for watching, and fly safe, Commanders.
All of them.
Every one of us!
Oh shit! They need them too!
High expectations.